Hey guys, it's Ranger Red and welcome back to another League of Legends video. Today we are actually going to be making a proper tier list, but it's not going to be just a tier list. It's going to be a tier list in my own opinions. Let me clarify, these picks are going to be based on my own opinions, my own low elo ass opinions on what are good, the okay, the decent, the not so good, and the shit picks for Worlds. Particularly for Worlds this year. So as of recording this, day 2 of play-ins have just wrapped up. So I am a little late, sorry, but that's just how it goes. So let's start from the bottom all the way up to the top. So from the bottom, do not pick this for Worlds. Basically, they are the champions that you should definitely not be picking because they are not going to work in the slightest bit. The next one would be the not so very good and very coin flippy, which means these are champions that are basically just not really good, but if you get them ahead, they are basically because, they are primarily like, let's say, burst mages like LeBlanc or some shit. And then the middle part, it is gonna be the meh, it's okay. It can be good, it can be bad, because sometimes it may be good, and sometimes it may be shit. The next one, the decent picks. These are okay-ish picks, however, they still have their dependencies on factors that could happen in and out of the game. And then they are the pretty nice picks, which means these are picks that are actually really good. And hey, they can work. And then the last one at the tippitiest top, that would be the goated picks for Worlds. These are by far the best champions ever that you could possibly pick for the Worlds tournament. So let's start with Aatrox. Aatrox, I would say, is a pretty decent pick. So it has been 2 days of play-ins. 2 days so far of the World's Tournament so far. And Aatrox has been blind picked so many times. I kind of lost count of how many times this champion got blind picked on like Reds on the first pick. It's crazy. But so far, his win rate is not really as I expected. I was expecting him to be a little lower, but it's almost like within the 50-ish, 49-ish percentile. Now, next pick, that would be Ahri. Now, Ahri in a lot of domestic tournaments has been a pretty okay pick, so I'm gonna put her at meh, it okay. But it's not really as decent as Aatrox as far as I can see. Now, Akali. Now, there has been an Akali pick. I forgot who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was... I think it was one of the PCS teams. And they lost the game to Evil Geniuses. NA. And I believe that NA is not really in a good spot at Worlds for a moment. So, I don't think you should really pick Akali for Worlds. Like, the pick did not work in the slightest. All I can say is that there were some flashy moments, but the Akali lost mid lane. So it's not really... I mean, it's not really fair, but so far as I can see, it's not really a good pick. As for Akshan, I would say he is a bit of a coin flip. If you get him ahead, he can be an absolute train wreck to the enemy team. But if he falls behind, well, too bad. You're dead. Next up is Alistar. And now, there hasn't been all too much Alistar as I've seen from all the domestic leagues I've been watching, which were LCS, LCK, LPL, and the LEC. I I don't think I have seen a single Alistar. However, considering how much considering how much of a like threat presence he is, I'm gonna put him at a okay-ish pick. Like meh, it's alright. Amumu. I don't think jungle Amumu is gonna be a thing this year. However, I am expecting a lot more Amumu support. There is one team that did pick Amumu support. Unfortunately, they lost. However, I still do believe that it's an okay pick. Like he does provide a really good amount of utility for the team. Now, Anivia. Ah man, here's the thing. Anivia, like if she gets to late game, she could work. The only Anivia that I've seen is from like Jensen back in the LCS. And they like he barely won, I felt like. Or he might have dominated in lane, I'm not sure, I can't really recall. However, Anivia does have really nice scaling. So I'm gonna maybe put her at a decent pick. But she's not better than Aatrox. Annie, I don't think she is a good pick for this year, considering how immobile she is, and that her abilities require a lot of finesse to basically pull off. And she's not really long range in comparison to like other champions like Azir here. So I think that she is not a very good pick. Aphelios. Aphelios, I think by far is the first goated pick for Worlds. Aphelios in pro play provides so much synergy with so many supports in bot lane, and he has very, very good team fight. Like his ultimate ability with whatever gun he has, particularly like with Infernum, Gravitum, or Crescendum, I think those alone is already enough for the enemy team to basically fall down on their faces. And again, he provides very good utility, he has very good team fighting, he has really good synergies with a lot of supports, so Aphelios, go to pick for Worlds. Ashe. Ashe on the other hand, I haven't seen all too much. I don't think I don't think she's ever been picked. Besides one instance in the LEC where she was picked support. So maybe support Ashe is gonna be a thing, hopefully. G2 make it happen again. Because Targamas was the one that made, you know, Ashe support a thing again. And they won that game in the LEC. So maybe it could happen. It's just that the only problem with Ashe is that she is extremely immobile. However, I think she compensates with that with her passive, especially when you're going support Ashe. Because if you go support Ashe, you have a shit ton of CDR. So maybe she could be the first pretty nice pick, but we shall see. Aurelion Sol, I'm sorry, my guy. I don't think you're going to be a really good pick for Worlds. I don't think anyone is willing to play a champion that is extremely weak as Aurelion Sol. And it hurts my soul to say that. Now, I think this is going to be the second pretty nice pick for Worlds, and that would be actually no. I think Azir is a goated pick for Worlds. I mean, if you pull off that that one good ultimate in a team fight, it can turn the whole thing around. However, I have seen one of the CB LOL's team, I think it was the first seed of CB LOL, their Azir lost the lane, but he had a lot of good moments where the fight was nearly turned around into their favor. But I think he lost it because his runes were incorrect. I think the Azir player in that team went Conqueror instead of anything else. In my opinion, I feel like Conqueror is not really the rune that you should be going for Azir. However, I don't think that deters him for being a really goated pick for Worlds. Because he could win lane easily if you play him correctly. But in the game that I've seen him lose so far was not a good example of how good Azir is. And that makes me sad. So, the next pick, the Bard. Um, I mean, he has very good roaming. His shrines can be used for wards. His utility is pretty good. He's very mobile with his portal as well. He provides, again, another very good utility with his ultimate. And, you know, they can pull off, like, pretty good dives potentially with him. So I'm going to put him at a pretty nice pick. But I think I'm going to put him above Ashe. Bel'Veth. I don't even know if pro players think that this champion is good. Especially like when you get her like form, she is not really as good as I think. Like that's just my opinion. Again, this tier list is basically all my opinions. And I'm a low elo guy, so you can make fun of me and all you want. So for Bel'Veth, I don't think she is all too bad, but I don't think she's all too good. So I'm gonna put her at a coin flippy type of champion. But I don't think she is worse than Annie. Blitzcrank. Did I say his name right? Blitzcrank. There we go. The Blitz boy. I believe this man is a menace. He is a pretty big menace. So I'm going to put him at a pretty nice pick. But I don't think he is really better than Ashe or Bard. Because pro players know how to dodge in comparison to people playing in solo queue. Same thing goes for Brad. But I think Brad is a lot better than Ashe. Because his late game scaling is what gets him going. And I feel like a solo lane Brad is as good as a support Brad. So long as the pros builds him right. And so long as he gets ahead, of course. The Bard. I do believe Bard is also... I believe Bard is a decent pick. And I think I'll put him above Aatrox as well. Bard has very good synergy in teamfights. His passive is also really good. He also has really good laning overall. So yeah, I'll put him on top of decent. Caitlyn. Now here's the thing, and I'm gonna call out evil geniuses for this. They picked Caitlyn, and they ended up losing. The lane that they went was Caitlyn Lux. However, they were going up against Fnatic. And Fnatic, who didn't even have Hylissang in their team at that time because of COVID, lost. They still lost with Caitlyn Lux. And they were going up against MF Leona. Upset was there, but they ended up having to use a substitute, which was Rux, who was from the Academy team. And by God, he is already 100% win rate at Worlds because of that Leona pick. But I still believe that Caitlyn is by far at the top of the pretty nice champion pick. The only thing that she needs to do is to make sure she positions well and also make sure that she gets ahead. So yeah, you know what? There we go. I'll put her at the goated pick for Worlds. Because I think that the performance that Evil Geniuses did on this champion does not represent of how good of a champion Caitlyn actually is. Because Caitlyn is a really good champion in pro play. It's just that Evil Geniuses played him, or like Evil Geniuses played her to shit. And that's just how it goes. Now, next up, Camille. The thing is, Camille actually has really good solo. Like, really good solo laning. But I'm not really sure because I haven't seen all too much Camille, and like both domestically and like at Worlds. So what I'm gonna say about Camille is that while she does do really good damage, I mean a Camille support could be a thing. Let's be honest. Like Camille support, that's a bit toxic. But she does have that potential. So maybe I'll put her in the decent for now. Below decent. Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is actually a very good champion overall. Her W is, I think, one of the best abilities in the game, and she can get ahead early. Like, if you lane properly, you can get ahead pretty early. And also, you can get ahead overall pretty easily. So I'm going to put her at a pretty, on top, on pretty nice pick. Showgath. There hasn't been Showgaths at all in pro play. And I think the main reason why it's because he lacks so little synergy and he lacks so little utility. His silence isn't as uh his silence isn't that much of a threat if you think about it. The only thing that's a threat from Cho'Gath is how fucking tanky he would get. But considering how long pro games go, I don't think he will get to the stage where he will get max stacks on his ultimate, or he will get as tanky as he would get. Same thing with his like rupture Q. It's not really all too threatening considering how slow and how long it takes for it to basically go off. So I'm gonna say that this guy shouldn't really be picked for Worlds. So, next up, it's the Corki man. Corki has really good laning phase. Corki has not really bad laning phase. It's not good, but once you get level 6 to level 11, you'll be a freaking menace. And once you get your first 2 items, you're also going to be a menace. And if it gets to late game, he is by far the carry of the game. And I haven't seen all too much Corki. And the times where Corki appears in like domestic tournaments, I think it's like a 50-50. But it's mainly due to like one big mistake or like one very small mistake. But I still believe that Corki is a very nice pick. I'll put him above Brad. Actually, no. I'll put him right there. Next up, Darius, Draven's brother. I will put him at a meh. Might put him above Alistar. He's a meh. Diana. I think Diana has very good team fighting. Her clearing and her passive attack speed, like bonus attack speed on her passive, is a very good thing. Her dashes are also very good. It's just that I feel like pro players should be building her correctly. Because from what I've been seeing from some players, both in solo queue, domestic tournaments, they are building her like with a tank item or like with fucking Nightbringer. And I think that's not really the way to go with Diana. Because in my opinion, if you're going to be going for like an AP item that provides health, she is relatively tanky enough. And if you have basically all completely offensive items, you'll be able to burst them down enough before you die. So I'm going to put Diana at a pretty nice pick above Corki. And again, the pros should be building her right. Like, with Rocket Belt, let's say the least. Like Rocket Belt, Diana, she basically has 3 dashes plus the flash, so 4. Now, Dr. Mundo. I don't think I've ever seen a Dr. Mundo besides in like fucking LEC. But I don't think he is I don't think he's a don't pick. I think people should pick him if the draft is right. Considering how much healing and how much tankiness this guy has, I wouldn't be surprised if he would get picked at all, but he doesn't have any CC. The only form of CC that he has is his cleaver and his E, but it slows. So technically, it's a form of CC, but not really. But it's one form of utility. So I'm gonna put him at I'm gonna say that he's a coin flip champion, but I would say he is above. I'm gonna say he's above Belbus, the Belbussy. Next up, Draven, Darius's brother. Draven has shown a lot of good stuff when like Unforgiven picked him. Like Draven was an absolute monster. He cashed in so much if Unforgiven picks him up. However, however, I think even if he's behind, he can still provide really good damage to the team. So long as the pros gives him the kills for him to cash in his gold. Because that's what pro players do anyways. They always give the kills to the ADC so that or like the ADC and like the other carries so that they can close out the game a lot easier. So I'm going to say that Draven is on top of the pretty nice pick. I don't think he's goated considering like it's easy for him to fall behind still and considering like his laning phase isn't really the best. Like in comparison to like other champions like let's say Misfortune or let's say Caitlyn because of the range advantage, I still think he is a pretty nice pick. Echo, I think he is another don't pick for Worlds. Actually no. I'm going to say that he's okay. But the thing is that his early game sucks. And there is going to be a lot of Lee Sin players. There's going to be a lot of early game champions in the jungle. So I don't think this man is going to survive. So I'm going to say that he is an okay-ish pick. But I'm going to put him below a Mumu. Elise, don't ever pick this thing to Worlds. She is by far, I think, the worst. As for Evelyn, she is very squishy, but she does provide a lot of damage. Her charm is also it's very annoying if it lands. So I'm gonna say that she is a decent pick, but I'm gonna put her below Camille. Ezreal, I think Ezreal is not gonna be a very good pick for Worlds, considering how the meta is shifting towards a lot more sorta carry-ish ADCs or utility-based ADCs that can synergize in team fights, like Aphelios and the Camille and the Ashe. I don't think Ezreal should really be picked for Worlds. However, I'm gonna put him above Asol for that reason. Like he can still be reliable, but he has to get ahead. And it's hard to get ahead with this guy. Because his auto attack sucks and he is very reliant on his abilities. And once those abilities are down, you're dead. For Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks I feel like has not been done justice so far this season. Fiddlesticks provides so much utility and so much team fight synergy for a lot of the champions that are being picked this year in like this season. So I'm gonna say that Fiddlesticks is a goated pick for Worlds. The same thing goes for Fiora, but I'm gonna put her above Fiddlesticks. And the reason for it is that Fiora has very good laning. Her repost ability, her W, is crazy, and she provides a crap ton of damage. She provides so much damage on like the champion that she is trying to target. If she gets on that target, she can kill that thing in a few seconds. And if her like ultimate is up, she can heal. So she does not only have that type of ability for her to stay alive, but that also provides her so much utility during the laning phase. And considering how her abilities work, particularly her repost ability, And if she is built correctly, she could honestly basically snowball the game out to her team's favor. So, next pick, Fizz. I don't think Fizz is a very good pick, but the potential is there. It's the same situation with LeBlanc, basically. It's there, but it's very difficult. So I'm gonna put him on top or right next to Akshan. He is the second best so far. So far the second best for a very coin flippy champion. Galio. I think Galio is a very nice pick for Worlds. Like a very nice pick for Worlds. Both support Galio if that ever is going to happen, which may not be a thing because pro players are going to pick him for mid. So I'm going to put him right next, or I would say above Draven for pretty nice pick. The best of pretty nice pick. Gangplank. Gangplank has very good potential. It's just that he needs to get the combo, and he needs to get ahead so that he can get his passive upgrades. But even if he falls behind, he can still provide so much damage. If he just gets that one good barrel combo, even if he's like 0 and 5, if he just gets that one really good barrel combo, it could potentially potentially turn the fight around. So I'm going to put him right next to or below Draven. I'll put him below Draven. Next up, Garen. I think Jungle Garen should be played this year. He's not. In my opinion, I don't think he is a really good champion overall, but I would really love to see him played in jungle. And I want them to like build Gale Force instead of fucking like Stridebreaker or whatever that shitty mythic item is. So I'm gonna put him like right here. Actually, like yeah, right there. Gnar. Gnar is gonna be one of the most picked top laners in the tournament. He has been played so many times in basically every domestic tournaments because of the amount of team fight synergy it has. Particularly with the Gnar ultimate towards the freaking wall. If he gets that one good ultimate, the fight is basically over. Do I think he's goated? Yes, but I don't think he's as goated as Fiddlesticks. Gragas. Gragas has good abilities, he has good utility, but I don't think he is that good. I don't think he's goated. I'm gonna put him above decent pick. He could he could win up a he could win a fight. He could win a fight. He has pretty good laning phase, but when it comes to like overall, it's an eh. It's not a meh, but it's decent. As for Graves, Graves is also going to be one of those many pick champions in the tournament. I feel like Lethality Graves should be played more often instead of Fleet of Footwork Graves or Healing Graves. And Fnatic's Razork actually played Lethality Graves. And guess what? They won. He didn't do much in terms of ganking, and he got invaded a lot, but he still kept up with the rest of the team. Because Dark Harvest provides that compensation for falling behind. So I'm going to put him so far on top of a pretty nice pick. Gwen, also a pretty nice pick. She provides a very good answer to a lot of tanky champions. It's a good counter to Gnar. And I think overall, with her ability to be immune on her fucking W and putting out so much damage overall, I think she would be a pretty nice pick. But in comparison to like Lethality Graves and Galio, I don't think so. So I'm going to put her at third place for that. Next up, Hecarim. Hecarim, my god. Hecarim is so good It's such a good champion. It's just that pro players are building him so incorrectly. For some reason, pro players are going Punk Chainsword on this guy instead of rushing like fucking like Chem Tank on him to provide that like you know movement speed boost. His E requires movement speed to dish out more damage. Why are they not doing that? Why can't you just go Chem Tank first and maybe like Executioner's third? Not even second, but like fucking third. Like, come on, guys. Come on. And it's because of that I still believe Hecarim is a very good at pick for Worlds. I'm going to put him above Fiddlesticks for that. It's just that pro players need to fucking build him right. Stop building Camp Punk Chainsword first. Don't just don't build that first or don't build that at all. Fucking scrap that. Go for Cam Tank, please. I beg. Anyways, I'm losing my voice. Let me take a sip of my water. Anyways, god damn it. Heimerdinger. Mr. Heimerdonger. Now, here's the thing. He is a very annoying champion. Let's get that right. He is a very annoying champion. But people don't know how to fucking play him in pro play for some reason. I've never seen a Corki. I've never seen, like... I've seen a Heimerdinger in pro play as much as I've seen an Akshan in pro play. Like, where is he? And the thing is, Corki, I would say, is on top of a decent pick. It's just that people don't fucking play him. Same thing with Alawi. I'm gonna put her below Gragas for that. Irelia. I don't think Irelia is ever gonna be picked as much as people believe. So I'm gonna put her at a... I'm gonna put her at the, like, below Garen at meh. Or maybe above Garen at meh. Because apparently a lot of pro players know how to play Irelia, so we'll put her there. Ivern. The thing is, if Ivern is played ever in like top lane or mid lane, including jungle included, I feel like he is going to be an absolute menace. He can provide so much for the team. But considering how much the meta has shifted to champions like Hecarim and Jarvan, I don't think he's ever going to be like that big of a difference. So I think I'm going to put him as a decent pick, but I'm going to put him below Gragas. But I hope I can see more. I hope I can see more Ivern. He's actually a very good champion. So fingers crossed for that. Fingers crossed. I hope that he can make it. Next up, Janna. Janna is not really a good champion. Like, seriously. She's not really a good champion. Like, top lane Janna is no more. So she's not a good champion. Her utility is shit. Her tornado is shit. Her shielding is shit. So what's the point? And again, this is just my opinion. People might have different opinions than me, but my opinion is that she is, I believe, the #1 worst pick for Worlds. Right there. Jarvan. Jarvan is basically the bread and butter for a lot of junglers this meta. And I do believe that he is a goated pick. And you can do a lot of builds with Jarvan. From what I've seen from a lot of players, you can either go Lethal Tempo, Conqueror, or even, like, Phase Rush. Because why the fuck not? And the builds that a lot of pro players are doing on him is very good. So I'm going to put him above Hecarim. I'll put him above Hecarim. And I really hope I can see more Sunfire Cape Jarvan, because I think that is... I feel like that's the best build for the champion. Jax. Jax has pretty good laning phase. He can provide a lot of good team synergy with his Counter-Strike. His ultimate could burst down enemies really good if he gets on top of a carry, because he can easily go into the backline with his leap. So I'm gonna say that he's a pretty nice pick. But I'm gonna put him above Gangplank and Draven. I'll put him right here. Next up, Jace. Jace has very good laning phase. He can win out lane pretty easily. It's just that he needs bursts. He really, really needs bursts. And he's a very squishy champion. Like, I think he's by far, I think, the squishiest top laner so far. But I think with him, laning phase wise is really good, but team synergy wise, maybe not. So I'm gonna say that he's an okay-ish pick. I'm gonna put him above. I'll put him above Alistar. Let's say that. Draven. Now this is gonna make me sad because Draven is my main, and I think Draven this season. Did I say Draven? I'm such a fucking idiot. Let me start over. Jhin. There we go. Jhin, my boy, my main, my goat, Jhin. This is sad because he is shit this season. And I think he is a shit overall champion for pro play. Because, one, they're not going for the Dark Harvest. They're not going for the Dark Harvest build for pro play because why would they? It's like very risky for pro players to go for that, which is why they go Fleet of Footwork instead. So yeah, like Jhin is not really a good pick. However, I am expecting to see him at Worlds. I am expecting to see him at Worlds because a lot of pro players really love this champion. I don't think he is a don't pick, even though I said that earlier. I will retract that statement. I think that he is a very coin flippy champion. So for that, I'm going to put him at 4th place because it's perfect like that. Jinx. I think Jinx is a very good pick. Her passive alone is what can turn a team fight. Her laning phase is really good as well. Do I think she's a goated pick? Yes, I do. But I'm going to put her below Fiora. I'll put her below Fiora. Like, I believe she is a very good, reliable ADC champion, especially when she gets her items, especially when she gets to late game. Now, next up, Kai'Sa. Already in play-ins, there has been a lot of Kai'Sa games already. And so far, she's won. So far, she has won all those games. Like, Unforgiven picked her up. They won the game. Yutapon from the LIJ leagues picked her up with Lethal Tempo, and she won. And I'm gonna say it. Lethal Tempo Kai'Sa should be a thing. Screw the fucking PTA or Halo Blades. Lethal Tempo Kai'Sa. Let that be a thing. And I don't think she is a go-to... I think... Oh man, is she a go-to pick or not? Man, this is hard. Because Kai'Sa is a very good champion overall, especially when she gets her items. And as long as pro players don't build Collector. Actually, they could build Collector, but it's a very situational item. So I'm gonna say that she is a goated pick, but is she as goated as Jinx? I would say so. So I'm gonna put her above Jinx. Kalista. My boy Fnatic Upset got his first pentakill at Worlds on this champion. And by God, did he showed up. I do believe Kalista. I feel like Kalista is not really a goated pick, but I think she is a pretty nice pick. So I'm gonna put her below Jax and above Draven. Let's give it at that. Karma. Karma, in my opinion, is by far one of the best supports out there. By far the best support. One of the best supports. So I'm gonna put her like at the pretty nice pick as well. Above fucking above these two. Actually, above Jackson. Above Jax. Yeah, above Jax. Karthus. I believe Karthus is basically the emergency button for a lot of pros. If this guy gets behind, he can still dish out so much damage. And you can go two ways with him. First Strike Karthus or Dark Harvest Karthus. Any of the two could work. Because those two runes can compensate for him falling behind in CS. And he doesn't even need to go to lane. He could just, pull up the wall of pain, like that could compensate. And overall, the amount of damage that he can dish out in late game if he gets to it, I think he is a pretty nice pick. And I'm gonna put him above Graves for that. Because he has that comeback potential. If not, then unfortunate, because that's just how it goes. Karthus. I think Karthus is like the LeBlanc. It's like an example of LeBlanc. He's very coin flippy, and he runs out of mana pretty fast. So I'm gonna put him like he is an okay-ish pick. Like his silence works. Like his silence is pretty good. He has pretty good burst damage once he lands on you. Basically LeBlanc with silence. But I'm gonna put him at like a frickin'. I'm gonna put him below Alistar. Yeah, I'll put him below Alistar. Katarina, it's basically the same story as Karthus, but Katarina's ultimate is not a very good ability for this tournament because she has to stand still, and it's very hard to find that one good ultimate in a team fight. So I don't think she is a pick for Worlds. I'm gonna even put her above Akali for that. Now, the Queen, Mommy Kale. I think Kale is a pretty nice pick. She has very. She just needs to. It's just that they need to play around her. The team needs to play around her. Like, all Kale needs to do is to get to late game. And possibly they can close it out there. So I'm going to put her at a pretty. Not pretty nice. I'm going to put her, like, below a pretty nice pick. Or maybe, like, above Corki. Yeah, above Corki. Kayn. Very good mobility, very fast clear, very good ganks, so long as he gets his form. I would say Kayn is pretty nice pick. Um, I'll put him below Gangplank. I'll put him below Gangplank, that's for sure. Kennen. Kennen, I think, is a goated pick for Worlds. He is a very goated pick for Worlds. Just one good Kennen ultimate. It can turn the team fight around. Plus, he has very good laning phase because of range. Now, Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is like one of those champions that relies on a lot of factors in terms of a lot of things, like which lanes to gank and which lanes are winning and losing. Because if you think about it, right, Karthus has no CC. Did I say Karthus? There we go. Like, yeah, both Kha'Zix and Karthus, they have no actual CC, like a root or a snare, but Karthus has at least some utility with his wall. Kha'Zix has none. And he is pretty squishy, but he does a lot of damage if he gets to that point. But Yeah, I think he's a coin flip champion, but I'm gonna put him above Bel'Veth. Same thing goes for Kindred. Actually, Kindred, I think Kindred could provide a lot of good team synergy with her ultimate. Yeah, Kindred has a very good ultimate when she goes in. So I'm gonna say that she's a decent pick. Like right next to the Donger. Kled. Kled I think is a pretty nice pick. But the thing is that pro players don't know how to play the guy. I barely seen the guy. I barely seen this man in pro play. But there is that potential. I really want to say that he is a really good. I would say he's a pretty nice pick. Like he does show up in pro play in domestic tournaments, just not as much. So I'm gonna put him below Gangplank for that. Kog'Maw. Now the thing is, Kog'Maw, it's a sad situation. The way that Riot balanced this guy made him so bad. I don't think he should be picked. There are better ADCs. LeBlanc. This is, I think by far, I think it is the not so very good and a very coin flippy champion. Lee Sin. Lee Sin is an early game to mid game champion. He's not really good late game, but a lot of pro players are going to pick him. And a lot of the pro players are pretty good at the Lee Sin. But do I think he's goated? Of course not. Do I think he's a pretty nice pick in comparison to all the champions that are here? Not really. So I'm gonna put him third place in decent pick. Because he is like a very one-dimensional champion where he is only good in like the first 25 minutes of the game. Now, Leona. Rux, my guy. Rux, from the Fnatic Academy team, who was subbed in for Hylissang, won his first game of Worlds with this pick. And did he play her well? This man was a beast on Leona. And I do think, and I do believe, and I do think, and I do believe that Leona is a pretty nice pick. Like, her CC is very, very, very oppressive. Especially if you go Glacial Augment. My god. That one good Solar Flare with the Glacial Augment, I'm pretty sure the team fight is already won. Do I think she's goated? Not really. So I'm gonna put her right next to these boys. Right next to these boys, and right next to these gals, right here. Lilia. Lilia can provide so much good utility with her ultimate. If she just lands that one good ultimate when she dives in, it's pretty much over. Especially if you go Predator Lilia. So I'm gonna say that she's also a pretty nice pick. I'm gonna put her above Graves. If she ever gets picked, which I hope. Uh, Lissandra. Lissandra provides very good utility. She has pretty decent damage. Her laning phase is pretty. It's pretty bad early, but once she hits level 6, she is pretty good. She is pretty good. I would say yeah, she is a pretty nice pick, but I don't think she has I don't think she's better than Karma or Jax. So I'll put her right there. Lucian. Oh man, Lucian. I don't think Lucian's ever gonna be built properly, but I think he is gonna be picked. He is gonna be picked, but I don't think he is gonna. I don't think he's. I think. This is hard because Lucian is a very good champion. He has good damage outputs, and all the builds that the pro players are going for, it's all good. He has pretty good laning phase, and in terms of team fights, it's kind of hard for him to find that one good ultimate. But I do believe they could win it out if even though they have Lucian. I think Lucian is actually a go-to pick for Worlds. But I'm gonna put him like last place, below Kennen. For uh for uh for Lulu, she is a very good support. Very good enchanter support. Her bullying with her Q, it's freaking annoying. The polymorph is also fucking annoying. The ultimate is annoying. Anything about this champion is annoying. Her voice lines as well is annoying. I'm gonna put her above. I'm gonna put her above. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna put her above all these people because she is so oppressive in lane. Her team fighting as well is not bad. So yeah, goated. Lux. Now Lux. Lux was not the Lux was not Lux did not receive any justice from evil geniuses. They desecrated her image. Do I think she's a goated pick? Not really. But she is a pretty nice pick. I'm gonna put her above Graves. It's just that evil geniuses had to lose with her. It's so sad that they lost with Caitlyn Lux against an MF fucking Leona. Anyways, Malphite. Malphite, my god, like Malphite has very good, like his ultimate is very hard to land because pro players know they have to watch out for it. So but he's still pretty good, so I'm gonna say he's a meh. Put him right here. I'll put him right there. Malzahar. I think Malzahar has the same situation as Katarina, but like he has the same situation as Katarina, like he has to stand still for his ultimate. But I don't think that will matter because his silence and his void links is already enough to be a fucking menace in lane. His team fighting may not be too good, but laning wise, he's okay. So I'm gonna say he's a decent pick. I'm gonna put him above Ivern. Let's say that. Maokai. Maokai has been picked at Worlds already. This play-ins. My boy Wonder Boy, Mr. Wonderwear, picked him top lane. And Riot actually buffed him for jungle. So we could have maybe both worlds of Maokai, jungle, or top. And Maokai does have very good team fights with his ultimate. His saplings can be such a bully in lane as well. And his CC is also very, very good. And he can be tanky as shit. This man can be so tanky as shit. Even if you build him with like a demonic, he's still tanky like a motherfucker. So I'm gonna say that he is a very, very nice goated pick for Worlds. I'm gonna say that he may be right there, third place, as a goated pick for Worlds. Master Yi, don't fucking pick this guy. I'm not even going to explain. In pro play, he's not very good. His ganks are shit for pro play. All he knows is just slice and dice, nothing else. Now, Misfortune. Upset has played this champion with Leona against EG. They won. I do believe he built her right with the press the attack. However, I still believe that AP Misfortune is, I think, the best build for her, but it may not be also the best build for her because she has to get ahead in that scenario. And if you are planning to even go APMF in the slightest, the best thing that you can do is go tier. Tier, like rune. Like her rune should be tier in that case. Because then you can pivot to like lethality MF if it doesn't work, if you can't get the AP items. So I must say that she is a pretty nice pick. I'm gonna put her above Kalista, however. I'll put her above Kalista for that. Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is man. He's not the best in team fights, nor the best in laning phase. But he could snowball the game. He could snowball the game, especially if he gets enough damage in with his passive and once he gets his items and stuff. But I think he is the same situation as LeBlanc, where he's very coin flippy. But I don't think he is coin flippy as Akshan. I think he can compensate for him being a tank. So I think I'll put him below Mundo. Yeah, below Mundo. Morgana. Morgana. Morgana jungle is still reliable. Her as a support is still reliable. I mean, yeah, pretty nice pick. I'm gonna put her... I'll put her below Karma, though. Right there. Nami. Nami Lucian. That's the Wombo combo. Nami is also not really a bad enchanter. Like, her healing is really good, but I'm gonna put her right next to Lucian. I'll put her above Lucian. I mean, if he... If we do get Nami Lucian lane, then it's gonna be a tough scenario for the opposing team to deal with that. Nasus. Nasus has very good has very good scaling. He has infinite scaling, technically. So I must say that I don't think he is goated, but I must say he is, I think he is number one and pretty nice. Because his Q is infinite scaling. He can still be very fucking tanky. And his Q can still dish out that damage if you have enough bonks to do so. And that's just how it goes. Nautilus. Nautilus is a very good support. Rux, I think Rux also played him. So I'm gonna put him. Do I think he's better than Leona? I don't think so. So I'm gonna put him right there. I'll put him right there. Nico. Support Nico. I feel like should be a thing. Um, because she has a much better time there, in my opinion. She would, if she is ever picked. But she doesn't provide any healing or shields. She only provides a lot of CC and burst damage. So I must say that she is not really a coin flippy champion. But I must say that she is above Ahri. And meh, it's okay. Nidalee. I hope I don't see this champion on Jankos, because we already know this guy is going to miss a lot of spears. All I know is that she is very coin flippy. I think she is more coin flippy than Akshan, I would say. Neela. Now, in my opinion, my personal opinion, Neela, or Nyla, however you pronounce her fucking name, she is not built for bot lane. I feel like she is built for mid lane, primarily. But she can still be played for bot lane, of course. Like, that's her whole purpose. But I would say that she is also a meh. It's okay. I'm gonna put her below Alistar, though. Actually, no. I'll put her below Garen. Yeah. Nocturne. I think Nocturne is such a shit champion right now. Like, he is not a good pick. Like, in any form of scenario that I can think of for Worlds. I am not going to expect him to be played, so I'm going to say that he is a not pick for Worlds. He is a not pick for Worlds. Um, Nunu. Nunu, I think it's below meh. It's okay. He has a very good CC potential. It's just that I don't think we're ever going to see it. Olaf. I think Olaf is also not very good. So I'm going to say... But he can provide... But he is very tanky. Especially with his ultimate. But he is very... But he needs to get ahead. So yeah. Above Mordekaiser. Orianna. Orianna has very good playmaking potential. Her ultimate alone and her laning phase is already good enough. Even if she gets behind, she can still provide that form of utility for the team. And that's what she is. She's a utility champion. So I'm going to say that she is... I'm going to say that she is a pretty nice pick. I'm going to put her above... I'm going to put her above these. She is in third place for pretty nice pick. Next up, Big Papa Ornn. Ornn. My guy, where do I put you? He has that scaling potential with his passive. He doesn't need to stay in lane. He doesn't even need to base. He doesn't even need to base a lot of the times with his passive, of course. If he goes Futures Market and like Ultimate Spellbook, he can provide even more utility for the team. It's just that I don't think pro players are ever going to build him like that. But do I believe? Yes, I do believe that he is a goated pick for Worlds. I'm even going to put her above Kai'Sa. Because why the fuck not? But seriously, I do believe Ornn has that playmaking potential with the Call of the Forge God, with his CC, with his scaling, with the potential utility if pro players go Ultimate Spellbook on him and Futures Market on him. He could potentially be the like hidden hero of the team when they win the game. Next up, Pantheon. Pantheon as a support could be a thing. As a jungler, he could be a thing. I would say he's okay. Put him above Malphite. Yeah. Because he has a point and click CC. And he is a very mid game champ, like early mid game champion. Actually, yeah. I'm gonna put him above Lee Sin for that. He at least has a lot more utility than Lee Sin. Now, Poppy. Poppy has been a fucking menace this season. And I do believe that pro players are gonna pick her a lot. Especially with the phase rush builds that people are going for her, and with the Cam Tank build that people are going for her, she is by far a fucking annoying champion. So I'ma say she is a goated pick. Is she above Hecarim? I would say that she is like the second tier of Hecarim. It's just that if people build her right, it would be even better. Pyke. Pyke has good roaming, good CC, slippery as fuck. And he has that comeback potential for the team if he gets that one ultimate for like the 80 carry. So I'm going to say that he is a pretty nice pick. I'm going to put him below Morgana. Yes. Kiana. Fuck off. Quinn. Fuck off. Rakan. Rakan is also going to be played a lot. I would say he's a pretty nice pick. I don't think he's goated. Actually, no, wait. I think he is a goated champion. I'm going to put him below... I'm going to put him above Gnar. I'll put him above Gnar. His ult, he is so slippery, and he's very tanky as well for some fucking reason. I don't know how he's tanky, but he can like, go in, go out, and he can still be in like what, 15% below health. That's it. Rammus has that very good team fight synergy with his ultimate and his taunt if he is played top lane. I don't think he is good for jungle, but he does have that potential. But I think he is a very coin flip type of champion. He's not as coin flippy as these champions, so I'm gonna put him above Kha'Zix. He's not as coin flippy as these three. The mommy void ling mommy. Man. Where do I put her? Hmm. She does have that playmaking potential. She does have that playmaking potential, and she can roam around the map pretty easily to steal the buffs. But she needs to have like that one good gank. And it's very easy to gank with this champion because it's energy based. So I'm gonna say that she is a decent pick. I'll put her above Camille. Rel, I think by far Rel is like one of the worst supports out there, but she does provide a lot of utility for the team. I'm gonna say that she is a meh. Okay, I'll put her like right here. Renata's utility with her handshake and the ultimate is very good. It all matters to the team fights. So I'm gonna say that she is a pretty nice pick. I'm gonna put her above Lux though. Actually below Lux. Actually below Garen. Below Galio? Maybe not. Yeah, put her right there. Renekton. Renekton, I think, is the worst top laner ever for pro play overall. He provides very little utility for the team, and he falls off late game pretty quickly. So I'm gonna say that maybe he shouldn't be picked for Worlds, but he can dish out damage and like get out if he can. I think, yeah, right here. I'll put her in like not very good and a very coin flippy champion. Rengar. Rengar has very good utility. His roams is pretty good. Clear is pretty good. But I think overall, he's a meh. I'll put him right above Kassadin. Um, okay, Kayn. Same story as it's the same story as Kindred. So I'm putting him here, like red Kayn. Like here's Kayn. All right. So red Kayn, blue Kayn. I would say he is a pretty nice pick. I think blue Kayn is the worst of the Kayns, so I'm gonna put him, yeah, right there. Right where he belongs. Pretty nice. So red Kayn, I think, is the best. Blue Kayn, I think, is the worst. Normal Kayn, you'll be in the middle because you're two people technically. Riven, I don't think she ever provides anything for the team, so I'm gonna put her at don't pick. Rumble. I feel like Otawamne is gonna pick this guy, but he needs to get ahead. He provides a lot of damage, but he is not really tanky. So I'm gonna put him here. I would say above Rammus. I would say below Rammus. Rise. Rise is well, overall, a shit champion. He can, but he can get ahead easily in lane because of his abilities. Um, but I feel like he doesn't do enough damage. I think the only thing that's good with Rise is if he goes ultimate spellbook and lands that one good CC and that one good portal, like for roaming to the other lanes to get a kill at least. So I'm gonna say he's a meh. Put him above Ari. Samira. I think Samira is so toxic for pro play. It's just that people barely picked her. Because she's kind of like, the Yasuo of bot lane. But I still believe that she could be a pretty decent pick. I'm gonna put her below. I'm putting her above Lee Sin. Next up, Sejuani. Sejuani is one of the most played champions I've seen so far this season for pro play. Both, like, for top lane primarily. And I do think that she is a goated pick. But I really want to see her in the support role. Because that would be so troll. That would be so troll if she gets to the support role. If she gets to the support role, I think they're gonna be I think she is gonna be a fucking menace. Even in jungle, she's already a menace. Top lane, she's already a menace. So why don't you go, like, support Sejuani, will ya? I want to see support Sejuani, so I'm gonna put her above Rakan for that. I'm gonna put her right above Rakan just for that. Senna, people, I mean, despite the nerfs, Senna is still, I think, one of the best champions to pick for pro play. Just pick up as many souls as possible, and maybe when you get to late game, you can fucking outrange everyone from Malaysia to NA. I'm gonna put her above. I'm gonna put her above Caitlyn just for that. She is very good. Actually, I feel like she is the best go-to pick for Worlds. And Azir remains second, and Aphelios, you can, like, stay here. Yeah, much better. Seraphine. Seraphine is also a pretty fucking menace. And I think she is a pretty nice pick, but I don't think she's that goated. I'm gonna put her right above Lux. Set. Set, I feel like in support he could be good. Top lane not so much, because he is easily diveable. He's not really tanky in the first stages of the game. So I'm gonna say that he is a coin flippy champion. Right below Annie. Shaco, best not to pick him. He provides nothing in pro play. Shen, he provides a good amount in pro play. Laning phase, decent. He can provide a lot of good synergy with his abilities, his silence, his blocking, his taunts, his shit. And he can easily roam with his ultimate. So I'm gonna say that he is a pretty nice pick. I'll put him right next. I'll put him right there. Right below. Right below these guys. Shyvana, I feel like she is not really the best, both in top and in jungle. So I don't think it's okay for her to be picked. But she is a good champion. I'm. I think she's a meh. She is a meh. Put her above Rel. Singe. Singe. Have you all seen the Singe support from the fucking LCK? It was it was like a fucking fever dream, but it fucking worked. Singe, it's gonna be. I'd say it's a decent pick, but I think he is below the decency. Actually, no. Put him right here. Sion. Sion, it's another coin flip champion, but I'm gonna put him above Renekton because Sion can at least provide so much more than Renekton. Now Sivir. Sivir is undoubtedly another goated pick for Worlds. Her rework made her such a fucking menace. I think she is gonna be the one of the best goated pick for Worlds. Top, like right here, right there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top 5 goated picks for Worlds in my opinion. Skarner is not going to provide anything, so I don't think he should be picked. Sona is basically similar to Seraphine, but they're way better than Lux. And Seraphine is better than Sona. Soraka. Soraka, by far, is one of the best supports as well. But I think she gets outclassed by Seraphine in terms of healing. So I'll put her right there. Swain. Swain. There has already been a couple of Swain games. They were all a loss. So, but I still believe. But his scaling. But if he gets enough stacks for him to get more health, his scaling is actually pretty obnoxious. And the healing as well. If you get enough AP on him, it's pretty obnoxious. So I'm gonna say that he is a meh okay, and I'm gonna put him above Nico. Silas. Silas is gonna be like one of those go-to picks for pros, and I'm gonna say that he is pretty decent. Actually, no. I'll put him in a pretty nice pick because he can provide a lot more utility if he goes Ultimate Spellbook as well. But people are not gonna go Ultimate Spellbook because people would usually go for Conqueror. But Ultimate Spellbook is still a possibility. So I'm gonna say that he is like around, like below Galio. Syndra. Syndra is also a pretty. I would say she's a decent pick. I would say she is above Malphite. About not above Malphite, Malzahar. There we go. Like her CC is very good. She can win lane pretty good. She can do a shit ton of damage as well. So yeah, that's another reason. Tom Kench. I would say is a pretty nice pick. I would say she is like right there. He would be right there. Talia. Also, I feel like Talia is going to be a goated pick for Worlds. She can get to fights easily with her ultimate. She does a shit ton of damage if she can get the rocks to do what is needed. But I think she is above Sejuani. Let's put it at that. Talon, don't pick him. Teemo as well, you don't pick the guy. Tarek, I would say he is decent, a decent pick. I think he is by far, I think, the second best decent pick if he ever gets picked. Because of the fucking healing that he does. And his ultimate. It's so annoying. Thresh. Pretty nice pick. A lot of synergy with the teams. I would say I'd say he's also a goated pick for Worlds. Because he is like the old reliable. He's like the AK-47 of supports. Besides like the other support champions that we have here so far. Like both in goated and in pretty nice. I'm gonna put him below Rakan though. Actually no, above Rakan. Yeah, there we go. Tristana. Tristana is also, I think, a pretty decent pick. It's just that the game she has I think she has been appeared in one game. And it was picked by the LCO team. And they lost. So I'm gonna say that she is a decent pick. but I'm gonna put her in like number 3, right there. Trundle. Trundle is also like one of those junglers that was picked so much this season in pro play. So I'm gonna and he is very fucking tanky with fucking lethal tempo. And if they max um his W second after his Q, which gives him like the movement speed and the attack speed boost with lethal tempo, I think he is gonna be a really, really good pick. So I'm gonna say he's a pretty nice pick. Probably better than Graves. Yeah. Tryndamere. Ah, man, Tryndamere is very coin flippy. Above, probably right there. Twisted Fate, I would say he's a meh pick. Right next to Rise. Or maybe, yeah, right next to Rise. Because his gold cards are very good. It's just that, and the current buffs that he got for his clearing of, like, waves could potentially make him lane a lot better, which is very good. Actually, I think it's because of that. Yeah, he'll stay there. Never mind. Twitch. I think Twitch is going to be a pretty nice pick. Pretty nice pick. Maybe above... Maybe above Kale. Yeah. Now, Udyr. The new Udyr. I believe he's banned. Isn't he? I think he's like deactivated. Maybe not. But I don't think people are ever going to pick this guy. So I'm going to say that I don't think he's good. Like in jungle, he's not good either. So I'm going to say don't pick for Worlds. Urgot. Urgot, I think it's going to be a meh. I'll put him right above Malphite. Right there. Varus. Varus is also going to be a meh. I think right there. Same with Vayne. Actually, Vayne is actually a coin flip. Right next to Jhin. Veigar. Veigar, I believe, is a pretty good pick. He has also infinite scaling. So I'm going to say he's right there with free scaling boys right here. Vel'Koz, pretty nice. I think he's a decent pick, but he doesn't really provide too much utility besides like 1 or 2, and that's he is long range. I think he's much better than Heimerdinger though. Vex, no, because once all of your abilities are down, you're useless as Vex. Viego. Viego can provide that, like, very good comeback potential. His clearing is pretty good, his damage is pretty good, his CC is pretty good, which makes his ganks decent at best. So I'm going to put him at decent. Above Evelyn, above Camille, above, Rek'Sai, above Singe, above... Yeah, right there. Actually, maybe above Alawi. There we go. Victor. I think with Victor, with the potential wombo combos that you can do with Jarvan, and if you can just land that one good like slow field on his W from his W, he is a very good pick. I'm gonna say he is much better than Talia though. Vi, for fuck's sake. The thing is, Vi is not being built correctly at Worlds. And she is very easy to kill. So I'm gonna say this. And I know that people are gonna say that they're gonna disagree with me. but I'm gonna say that she is not a very good pick and a very coin flippy champion. However, she does have good utility, so maybe it's in the meh. Below meh. The worst of the mehs. Vlad, I don't think they're gonna be picking that guy ever. Actually, I would say he's also a meh. Actually, no, a coin flip. Yeah, right there. Volibear. Volibear top is a menace. Jungle Volley is a menace with Predator. So I'm gonna say he is a decent pick. Above Ivern and above Viego, of course. Warwick, meh, it's okay, I guess. So I'm gonna say like right here. Wukong. Wukong is a very, very good pick. A pretty nice pick. His CC potential, playmaking potential is very nice. I don't you know what? Yeah, goated. He's a goated pick for Worlds. I would say he is below these guys though. Below the pack of the junglers that are being picked. Xayah, also a goated pick for Worlds at the moment. I'm gonna put her right next to her man, right there, right next to her man. Xerath. Xerath is one of those champions where you have to play around. You have to play around Xerath if you want him to work. But he is super, super mobile. So I'm gonna put him right there because he could have that type of potential to carry the game. But I feel like pro players know how to dodge, so I don't think he's yeah. I'm gonna say he's like it's because Xerath's immobility to outrun other champions and with everyone having dashes nowadays, I don't think he's ever gonna work. So I'm gonna put him in don't pick, unfortunately, even though I really love Xerath. Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao, I would say, is a pretty decent pick. He's like old reliable jungle once again. So actually not decent, but I'm gonna say pretty nice. Like eh, like eh, like I'd say above 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 Cass. That is not above Cass, right there. All right, next up, Yasuo and Yone. Yasuo and Yone. Yasuo and Yone. I mean, it's obvious. I'm gonna put them right here. They're obviously they're made to be coin flips anyways. Yarick. Um, split pushing does not work in pro play. He has his utility is very, very bad. So it's a dope pick for Worlds. Yuumi, the Zoomers, the Zoomies. She is a go to pick for Worlds. I hate to say it, but she is a very go to pick for Worlds. I think she is much better than Lulu. I do believe she is much better than Lulu. Hmm. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like Seraphine and Soraka and Sona are also goated. I think Seraphine is yeah, let's revise. Seraphine is like there. Soraka is like right here. And Sona is like right here. Yeah, there we go. Now Zac. Zac, man, the last game where I saw Zac in play-ins did not do him justice. He was so bad. Put him in like jungle. But I do believe that he is a meh. And now that I'm saying that, I feel like Swain, Nico, Rise, and Twisted Fate are decent picks right here. I think they are the best of the decent picks. Yes. Zed, fuck's sake. Zeri, I think by far she is another go-to pick for Worlds. Like, she's so hard to, like, it's kind of hard to pin her down. She is much better, like, she's like right here. Ziggs, I feel like, is also going to be a go-to pick if he ever gets picked. But if he's not, but I feel like he's not going to get picked ever, which is sad. So I'm going to, like, put him right here for the sake of compensation. Zillion, it's the same situation, unfortunately. Actually, no. Hylissang is going to pick this guy. Hmm. Maybe, like, below Sona. Alright, Zoe. Also a goated pick. Actually, a pretty nice pick. Put her above Orianna. And last but not the least, Xayah. Don't ever fucking pick her. Anyways, that is it. There is my tier list for Worlds 2022 on what picks are the goats, what picks are pretty nice that can be played, but also picks that are pretty decent that could also be played, and like the okay-ish to the coin flips to the just don't pick whatever. Anyways, that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, leave a like for this video, leave a comment for the algorithm, share this with your friends, because why not? I want to see what people think about Worlds, especially for this year. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Ranger at 64, over and out.